What is up, new friends of the internet? As always, this is Patrick, your fearless leader who is, in fact, scared of speaking to pretty women. Today, we have a deadlift day, and deadlift days are pretty special to me because for about 5 years straight, my deadlift was stagnant and did not move at all, did not move a pound. I ended up dropping 675 on I ended up only hitting 675 and dropping 700 on either second or third attempts for about 10 meets in a row. It was there, no progress whatsoever. So until recently, my deadlift had sucked. It'd been terrible, and I always thought, man, I have to go deadlift. It's the final third of powerlifting. It's an important part that I have to get done. But recently, at the first American Pro, I ended up deadlifting 728, which was a 28-pound meet PR on deadlifts. And I was like, you know, we're getting to something. I went 3 for 3 on deadlifts. And then I started with my new coach, Joe Sullivan, and he trained me to do sumo for 6 months. So I learned a lot of things about the deadlift that I had not ever considered previously. And we switched back to conventional deadlifts, and I ended up locking out, but neither of them passed 777 pounds on the American Pro 2 platform, which means theoretically, I increased my gym PR, which it's a nuanced thing where a gym PR is basically anything you've locked out. The standards of the sport don't really matter, or it's a lift that you hit in the gym, right? So I technically hit a gym PR on the platform, but it did not count on the platform. So it's a little bit of that weird nuance going on there. So I added 50 pounds to my deadlift in a year, and I had more in the tank. If the first 777 had passed, I would have gone for 804 and likely would have gotten it because I had a lot of juice left in the tank, and it was a good day. So likely at my next meet, I'll be opening with a deadlift PR, probably opening like 731, going 780 something, maybe mid 8s on a third. But only time will tell, and only progress will be the deciding factor as to what I do once I get on the platform. But the biggest thing I learned over the past about it's 16 months at this point, since it's about a month and a half after the American Pro 2, is it's not that I have to deadlift, it's that I get to deadlift. And that whole kind of like, that one word difference is a whole difference in the mindset and attitude going into performing the deadlift. It's not a chore. Marriage counselors will be like, you don't have to fuck each other, you get to fuck each other's bullshit like that. Except instead of like trying to save a failing marriage, try to save your failing total. You know, you get to deadlift. Not everyone gets to deadlift. So you got to appreciate what you've got, and you've got to be able to. You learn to love to push the boulder. If you have any sort of background in Greek mythology, you know about the story of Sisyphus. A really abridged version of that is he got tasked with rolling a boulder up a hill indefinitely, and when it gets to the top of the hill, it rolls back down. He has to roll it back up again. And Sisyphus learned to love the process of rolling the boulder, and that made the task tolerable. And, well, not just tolerable, but he ended up loving the task. And that's, why do we choose to powerlift if not to love the process of getting stronger? It's like the guy who loves the process versus loving the destination is the guy who's going to end up running further. If this was a scenario of running, what appeals to me about the sport of powerlifting is it's kind of a twofold thing. My biggest fear in life is having peaked, having reached my top potential and not realizing it, which means that I'd eventually start going downhill and start regressing, which that is a terrifying thought to me. And the other thing is I love learning new things, like the whole biomechanics and that I learned from training sumo for 6 months that I've directly paired with training conventional deadlifts. And I learned how to wedge into the bar for sumo, and that completely changed my starting position for conventional, and it made my entire deadlift tenfold better. It added 50 plus pounds to my deadlift in probably 6 months. So we have a deadlift day today. At the American Pro, we got called for a soft lockout. And what that means is that my shoulders were a little more forward than the judges would have liked. The American Pro is the biggest powerlifting meet of the year, so the judging was as strict as possible, which is a thing that I really like about it, because the stricter the judging, the less the internet judges, the people on the Instagrams and on whatever social media platform of the day, the less they can complain about it, because the judging is consistent, the judging is strict, so the lifts must be legit. So I appreciate that they pointed out to me that I have this deficiency in my deadlift that I hadn't considered before. And what was going on was I was tucking my chin at lockout, and that brings the shoulders forward. So it's almost like I'm locking it out, and then I tuck my chin and it becomes unlocked out. So we are working on sitting back more. We've got forward banded deadlifts today, and we are working on having a strong lockout. We're holding the lockouts for 2 seconds, working two things at once, working that new cue of not tucking my chin and actually pointing my chin at the head judge. I don't have a judge in the gym, so we're kind of imagining that there is a bald man with a goatee sitting in front of me. And if you've ever gone to any powerlifting meet whatsoever, you know that is the generic judge in a judge's chair, especially on deadlifts. So working that cue and holding it for 2 seconds, we're working two things at once again. We're working the muscles that lock us out and holding that lockout, because sometimes conditions are not ideal and you take a moment to get the down command, and you got to be able to have your muscles not crumble under that pressure. And we're working our grip strength by doing so, and doing elongated grip work works the grip strength and the grip endurance at the same time, especially with heavy load. Well, I mean, it's not heavy loads for me right now. We're doing a 5x2 at 505 red band forward, and with I think it's 2 minutes rest, and then we've got some other accessories and some supersets to try and work our back and our glutes to make us look thick and juicy. So that's what we got going on today. I appreciate you for following along and joining me on this journey today, and I will see you guys in the gym. Let's see if I can't speak this without the copyright going on. Music's pretty loud, but we've got barbell rows for time. So you know I'm going to absolutely hate every single second of it. And we've got a hip circle around the knees to activate the adductors or abductors, whichever one is a slutty girl opening her legs for big black guys.
I wouldn't know anything about that. I'm small and white, but got that for time. Barbell row for That's pretty much it. I'm gonna hate it. You guys are gonna love it, aren't you? Aren't you, little boys? This next accessory is a timed rest, or not timed rest. Everything's timed rest. Timed set belt squat RDL. Kind of the same deal as last thing. The last accessory where we've got a timed period. I just put the timer on the Fitbit. When the timer finishes up, it just vibrates, and I know time to get the fuck out of here. And so doing the dumbbell, or not dumbbell, the RDL on the belt squat hits a little differently because the tensions are different because it can pull it. So the big physics phrases coming up. The leverage on the belt squat for the RDLs is a angular momentum because it is on a pendulum, which means that the tension isn't always straight up and down. There's also forward tension going on there too. And that's just my belt squat. The belt squat that other people have where it's attached to a cable, attached to a weight stack. It's a similar kind of thing, except the angle of the pole is more consistent. So the way the angular force is torque, which is the angular version of force, works is based on a trigonometric coefficient to the force activating on it. So you pull on, you tug on the chain, right? And it has to overcome gravity, and also the force is pulling it inwards, because whenever there's something moving in a circle, there's a force inwards going on that. So you have to fight that force as well. I have bored the shit out of you, and this is only a 2-minute explanation of angular momentum. And I'm not even sure it's completely right. I wrote it down in my ebook, and I also took physics in college. I took physics and AP physics in high school and physics in college, which is basically just redundantly saying I took physics too many times because it was easy. But angular momentum, angular forces, torque, things like that are applicable in the gym. So you didn't waste your time going to math class and physics class and science class all through high school, college, whatever. It's all applicable here. You just have to be smart enough to recognize it. So I have leg press on program. Sorry, I have to get this as close as possible, otherwise it'll pick up the music, and YouTube will get mad at me for copyright. Narcos by it's a gym playlist. It's Narcos, but we've got leg press on the program today. And I absolutely fucking hate doing leg press because it's an ego movement. So my coach, Joe Sullivan, is really good friends with RP Strength. And RP Strength is all about making training as difficult as possible. So I looked up RP Strength on how to properly do a leg press because I know he's going to have something that's going to make it way difficult, and I'm going to absolutely hate it. And it's still going to be better than bringing literally every fucking plate in the gym to the leg press just so I can do triples, stroke my ego. But so we'll be doing close stance as low on the leg press platform as possible. 90 degree, and we're gonna keep it light to try and target the quads better, and we're gonna try and get as maximal range of motion as possible. I mean, we were getting max range of motion before, but like I don't know how to explain it. It's instead of having the regular leg press foot stance, it'll be really low on the platform and really narrow to try and get more quad engagement. It's a new stance for me, and the goal of it is to get as minimal lower back rounding at the bottom of the movement as possible. So hopefully that's what we're getting today. I don't know how heavy we're going. Hopefully not 1,000 pounds, but we're also going to throw in the calf raises to kind of get a bit of a calf health going, because knees over toes guy and Dawson Wyndham, all those knee health gurus have a lot of stock in increasing calf strength to increase knee health, because you got muscles really strong on top of the knee with the quads, the hammies, all that jazz. You throw in a not so strong body mechanic below the knee, and it's going to get overpowered by everything at the top. So we're going to strengthen the hamstrings. Have a good one. We're gonna strengthen the calves to hopefully increase knee health, and by increasing knee health, we'll be able to abuse all those systems more. Be able to train harder, train more often, more frequently, and recover better, so we can get better squats going. Because we're not number one yet, but we want to get there. We are gonna get there. Not want to. We are going to. And there ain't nothing to it but to do it. So let's figure this new leg press stance out to try and get some thick and juicy quads, some quad engagement. You'll get a little bit of a special tummy time today, because we just finished up leg intensive stuff. So let's look at the legs. Everyone keeps saying I've got big quads. I mean, I got a little bit of, I don't know if you guys can see, a little bit of striations going on. I don't really have quad separation anymore. This quad's just all fucked. It's not even Not even pretty. I usually get my leg veins in here. I got some on this side. But I mean, I'd say it was a good deadlift day. It was a good, decent deadlift day. A lot of back stuff, so I'll show you the back. Try to do a lat spread or whatever. How do they do it? Did I do it right? Did I do it right? I don't know if I did it right. But it's like, the only thing I consistently have, like, that shoulder separation. Everything else is just like, I'll be here sometimes. Allegedly, maybe sometimes. Like this shoulder. I don't know if it's because I'm too fuzzy or not. But it's like, I'll get the tricep veins on this side. But not really on this side. Man, I feel like whenever people tell me I have big quads, they're trying to inflate my ego. Because like these are, what I don't know. It's like, I've got strong quads, not big quads. But yeah, we did the I didn't show you the warm-ups because it's funky voodoo bullshit that like I don't even understand. Luggage carries and stuff like that. But really good deadlift day. We hit all the metrics that we wanted to, except for on the last set. I did do a little bit of a chin tuck on the last rep of the last set. Not good. So we still have that muscle memory to break, but I'll rotisserie chicken a little. This is where I get all my thumbnails. So like the more I rotisserie chicken, the more opportunities I have to get a thumbnail that doesn't look like a fat piece of shit. Except like I'm not flexing now. So it's like, ugh. And now the quad pump's gone away. Can you see my calves? I got tiny calves. I have the tiniest calves this side of Hampton. I got nothing. I got, nope, none. But the deadlifts were real good. They felt a lot lighter than like they were supposed to. It was 505. I was going to use the kabuki bar because I'm competing on a kabuki bar, but some kid was using a kabuki bar with pound plates, which will literally never happen in competition. So I don't know. It's that's just stroking ego. And then he was watching Boruto in between sets, which I have my own opinions on whether or not the gym is a social club, but so we used the Texas deadlift bar, which is a little stiffer than a kabuki bar. I have a 1.5 videos on it, forward banded, and it felt snappy as all heck, all hell. We're too far into the video. We can swear now. It was snappy as fuck. Not that I haven't been swearing this whole time. And then the rows, those weren't too bad. 35 seconds. I got about 11 to 14 reps every single time, which is decent. It's decent. I feel like anything around 12 is good. So the fact we're averaging 12.25 reps, give or take a standard deviation going on there, decent. Oh, how do I? Decent. Just trying to get thumbnails for you boys to attract more than just the bears. No, it's still going to only attract the bears to the video. But that was not bad. And then with the belt squat RDLs, I was my coach, when I originally asked what to do, he sent me a video and he was like this but deeper. And I didn't watch the video. I just saw how to set it up. And I was like, wait a second. I can tap the ground with this, which means that like I'm basically doing a full deficit where the bar is basically on my toes. And that's going to be getting some good, that's going to be getting a good stretch. So we're doing intra-hab. It's not prehab or rehab. It's recognizing that lifting is stretching under a load. So if you're cheating your reps, you're not getting a full stretch going on. That's what leads to tendonitis and muscle knots, muscle issues. Your tendons aren't developing along with your muscles. Your muscles end up overpowering your tendons, and then you start to have issues, a lot of issues going on. Like my bicep issue that's going on right now is coming from the fact that when I'm doing curls, I'm not letting it hang and getting a bit of a stretch going on. And when I'm doing lat pull down machine we have, the range of motion doesn't get a stretch going. So coach and I theory crafted that I got to grab like a box that'll sit even lower than the seat and use the seat, or I do single arm lat pull down, but I'm kneeling on the ground the whole time. So I can get a good stretch, get good lat stretch, get a good bicep stretch on both sides, kind of focus on that, reduce the weight, increase the amount of potential gains to gain, also increasing the amount of rehabilitation or recovery. That's the word I'm going for this time. Recovery that I'm actively getting while I'm participating in active lifting. So the leg press. All right. So Dr. Mike Israetel, RP Strength. If you look up RP Strength on YouTube, you'll find a million fucking YouTube shorts of him explaining things, whether it be like how to do movements or just breaking down like concepts and stuff like pump. He's a bodybuilder and bodybuilding focused YouTube channel. And my coach Joe Sullivan's good friends with Dr. Mike and Mr. Feathers. There's someone at my gym with the last name Feathers too, and I get the two of their first names mixed up all the time. Jared Feathers, I think that's his name, the IFBB pro. But he has an instructional video on how to do a leg press. Now I was like, I hate loading up. Oh, I still have the leg press loaded up. I hate loading up 1,000 pounds. It's just a massive fucking pain in the ass. So what it is you bring your stance as close as possible. I was touching my heels and have it as low down on the leg press plate as possible, and it'll isolate the quads a little better, and it'll also allow you to get a bigger range of motion. So when I'm normally doing leg press, my biggest range of motion is when my knees touch my chest or my belly, because I'm well endowed, but not where it matters. So that's the max range of motion I can get with a regular leg press. This new, like, heels touching, heels pointed out, it isolates the quads a little better, and it gets the knees out of the way, so I'm able to shove my belly, my chest in between my legs a little bit better, get some better range of motion. I was able to bottom out the leg press while performing the movement, which, yeah, that's good. That's good. That's getting a good active quad stretch, a good active, it's getting a good stretch for the quad. It's going to be helping with the knee health. So it's good in the long run. But the downside is I still had to load up 8 plates per side, which is 7 something, I think, plus whatever the sled weighs. But it's at a 45-degree angle. Everyone can leg press 1,000 pounds. No one gives a shit. And then I did 50 calf raises on every single set. I supersetted it. Because if you're in leg press and you're training real heavy and you don't hit your fucking calves, you're being a fucking asshole. So always hit your fucking calves when you're in a leg press. You're there, you move your feet like 2 inches so that your heels are hanging off, the middle of your foot's at the little like edge of the plate, and you just do calf raises. That way it won't look like you're about to break on the toothpicks that you call legs every time that you walk a squat out. So that's the video, guys. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being my new friends. And hope you guys tolerate me enough to continue being my strange online friends, because Mama told me not to meet strange men on the internet, and that's all you guys are, except you're my friends. Suck it, Mom. We're doing YouTube now. She will never see these videos. Don't tell her either. Don't share this with her. she doesn't need to know that about. Anyways, I'm gonna go hit some. Oh, sorry. I'm gonna go hit some grip work. Nothing interesting. Just try and get my forearms to look like a porn star's cock. Nice, thick, veiny, and penetrate even the most aggressive of the females. The females who see foreplay as getting thrown through a glass window, and then they're ready to go. That's my type. Anyways, I'm getting out of here before I say anything else that'll get me in trouble.